How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Daniel Latham, Berkeley District. Let's go ahead and do this as quick as we can. So here we are again with a crowd of parents trying to be heard by a group of people deaf to their calls. I have seen people come through here and appeal to science, data, facts, opinion, history, and God to try and get you to stop interfering in one of the most basic human rights, the right to personal autonomy and self-determination. I have watched as the majority of control of the board have leveraged that political power to forward ideological agendas with the inclusion of CRT and the imposition of mandate after mandate, just to refresh some people's memories to what's actually going on here. As of 10/2/21, per the CDC, age 0 to 17, there have been 499 deaths from COVID in the entire country during the entirety of the pandemic, out of 26.8 million infections in the same age group. During the same time frame, there were 1,010 deaths from pneumonia unrelated to COVID, almost a little over twice as many. For people that follow the science, to suggest that COVID is a large or even more substantial threat than our children have faced in the past is just a ludicrous suggestion. On top of this, the VAERS system is reporting almost 15,000 dead from the COVID vaccine, with almost 600 of these cases belonging to the under 18 range. We know that this system is normally severely underreported, but for the sake of argument, let's take the numbers at face value. This would mean that more children in the under 18 age group have died from the vaccine than have died from COVID. And still, you go right along with forcing these shots on our children. You know what is a significant risk to our children, though? This school board, the superintendent, the divisive and authoritarian government in Richmond and D.C., the constant fear messaging from teachers and administrations about COVID and mask, the isolation and segregation of our students by the lines of masked versus unmasked, vaccinated versus unvaccinated, or in the case of CRT, by the color of their skin. So why is this being done? That is a fantastic question that many of us have been asking. We spent large sums of money to buy an ionization filter system for every school, further reducing the children's risk to something that was already a below average risk to our children. So, why is this being done? I guess it depends on who you ask as to what answer you will get. If you ask the spineless fascist worms on the school board, they will tell you they are just following orders. They have no agency in their decisions, and they have to do what Richmond and the idiot legal counsel tells them. You, specifically Aaron Gramp and Baron Braswell, have told me that you favor parents' choice but are not willing to stand up to Richmond. This leads me to believe that one of two things must be true. You are either liars or you have no backbone to take a principled stand. If you ask the very angry parents what's going on, you're going to hear a wide range of answers from a wide range of parents. Mostly, we are angry that you, our elected officials, would infringe on our most basic rights of choice. You hide behind just following the law, but ignore the very simple conflict outlined by the Constitution of Virginia. A parent has a fundamental right to make decisions concerning the upbringing, education, and care of the parent's child. That is a law too, and you don't get to just ignore them because it doesn't fit what you want to do. You should be opposing unconstitutional decree coming out of Richmond and the CDC, but instead you choose to abdicate responsibility and further erode our system and way of life. I am completely convinced at this point, with the precedent that you have set, that if Richmond decreed that you blatantly harm or vaccinate our children against our will, you would jump at the opportunity to try and force that on us. Baron, you voted at the last meeting that you would support mandatory vaccinations for all students. Now, to be fair, you said you voted this way out of spite because you did not approve of the behavior of the other board members. Who do you actually think you are, that that's how you're going to vote on something as important as forcibly injecting other people's children? You like to say that we're not the majority? I think you're mistaken in misrepresenting my position horribly if you believe that. I don't want to take any mitigation stand away from anybody. I want everybody, whether I agree with them or not, to be able to choose the course that they chart in their life. You guys are wanting to take that away. To the parents in the audience and watching at home, stop complying with these fascist tyrants. Stop complying with mandates and the erosion of your liberty. Stop complying with people that want you harmed and removed from civil society. If you value your freedom or the freedom of your children, stop complying with these idiotic dictates. History may not repeat, but it definitely rhymes. And these are the people that would cheer you as your family is dragged out of your home for the greater good.
Next speaker.
Danielle McCarty,
followed by Jen Peterson and Jeff McCarthy.